All right. Hello, everyone. This is the Insane Game Freak. We're going to talk about... We're going to fucking talk about it. We're going to talk about Durarara Season 2, Episode 12, the end of Chapter 1 review. And this should be very interesting, to say the least. All right, so let's just jump into it. Most people will catch this on the playback, so it's okay. Anyway, let's just get into it. So, there's a lot of confusing material here. I'm going to try to make sense of it all, and if anyone wants to help me make sense of it in the comments, that would be very helpful. So, first thing is first. Shizuo is not in the dollars anymore, obviously due to the fact that there are people in the dollars who are pieces of shit, which means there wasn't, when he joined the dollars, there wasn't any really rhyme or reason to it. He just kind of joined the dollars for the fuck of joining the dollars. So he's not in the dollars anymore. Chikage and Kodaka now have this mutual friendship due to the fact that he likes Kodaka. And Mikado has now become the leader of the blue squares, as well as being the leaders of the dollars, and has joined, well, I'm not going to consider the dark side, but you will see his inner darkness show up now. Because if you want to take a minute out, we can talk about Mikado for a second. Mikado is that character who had nothing going on in his life, wasn't even an inherently bad person, and was just kind of fucking bored of it all. Like, you can tell that's his biggest quirk. He's bored of the life he currently lives. He doesn't, it's not like it's terrible, but he felt left out that all his friends were doing more interesting things with their lives. And then when he was invited to come to Ikebukuro after creating a group called the Dollars and not realizing, and I don't know if he realized how big the Dollars had got or not, but he had the Dollars and the Dollars just did what they wanted to do, you know, do good things, help people. But the thing about it is that now that his group that he worked so hard to create, which was the only thing that really made him abnormal as a character, period, is that he had this huge ass group in his control, but he didn't really do anything with it. When he realized that group turned into something that he didn't want it to turn into, and he also came to the realization that the only thing that made him different in Ikebukuro was the fact that he was a part of this, is that he was the founder of this group. And even then, he realizes that really wasn't enough in the long run either. As much as he might seem somewhat reluctant to, he didn't really give a shit about joining the Balloon Squirrels. If anything, it's like he says in the episode. He's trying to keep up. This has nothing to do, like, I think half of this has to do with the dollars. The other half is just him trying to feel like he can stand on the same plane as Henri and Masaomi. And that's exactly what this next chapter will probably be in July, is him just standing up and becoming this ruthless leader. Because I mean, that's the thing he's been shitted on for like this entire season so far, is how he's too innocent and naive, and that he doesn't know any better, and he doesn't look like the kind of person who lives in this world. And so like half of this, I feel like it's just him trying to prove that he is that person. And part of it, and I think he already is, I just don't think he's been in the position to where, I mean, there is no normal person who can just ruthlessly drop a pin on Aoba. Granted, Aoba deserved that completely because he's a piece of shit, and he pretty much drove Mikado into a corner. At the same time, it's not like Mikado really hated being in that position completely. Well, at least I don't think he did, as much as people like to. See, it's kind of weird. Mikado's character is very weird with me, because it's like, how much of it is him being forced, and how much of it is it him wanting to be in that situation? I don't think Mikado went out of his way to be in these situations, but he damn sure doesn't hate being in them. When you consider it, in one day he switched his entire opinion. He was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll become the leader of the Blue Squares, but you're gonna have to deal with my fury. And that's the first sign of badass Mikado that people have been talking about in the comments in Crunchyroll. That is badass Mikado to it. See, that nigga took a pen, took one of these mechanical pencils, and he was spinning it throughout the conversation, all casual and shit. And on top of that, it also brings up the question, Aoba is kind of weird, because I don't know what Aoba's end game is here. Because Aoba didn't even go out of his way to really, but then again, I think Aoba knew that was going to happen. I think Aoba may have not set up all the plans in motion, just like how we kind of found out Izaya didn't completely do that. Like, Izaya knew Shizuo would be framed, but he didn't specifically go out of his way to do anything about it. and then that ended up working out anyway. But having Mikado spin the pen the entire conversation and then to stab Aoba in the hand like, this is our contract, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I hope your hand isn't bleeding too much. I'm so glad you're happy with it. Let me go get the antiseptic and some bandages. And you're just like, bruh, you did what? Like you could tell Mikado has that obvious two-faced personality here. That was like the first really obvious sign that Mikado has a heavy two-faced personality. Because that bruh, there's no normal person who would stab somebody and go, oh, I'm sorry. That was a Kumagawa moment, actually. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, that's Kumagawa. Kumagawa be that nigga to do some stupid shit like that. So we got Mikado, his ascension to Blue Square's leader status along with he's probably gonna become a mob boss in the second season. Masaomi is in Ikebukuro, and I don't know how much he heard of Chikage and Mikado's conversation, but I'm going to assume he knows at least that Mikado is $1, and he probably understands the current situation Mikado is in. And Masaomi's still fucking scared, so he'll probably be coming to terms with that in the second half. Henri doesn't know shit yet. Henri knows very little. Henri only knows that Mikado's $1 and only knows a little bit about the current situation, but doesn't really understand what Mikado's about to do. And it's completely understandable why he's doing it, but you can also tell that even though he's doing it for just reasons, he's also doing it for his own selfish reasons, which is the whole him wanting to be as abnormal as everyone else. He has the obsession with being different. He doesn't really want to be the same normal plain kid that he was, which is understandable. It's kind of like how you have all the abnormals wanting to be normal and you have all the normals wanting to be abnormal. I get a lot of Madaka Box vibes from this all of a sudden. I don't know where the fuck that came from. So that's that. There isn't too much going on with Ari. I guess the last section we got to talk about, which was the most confusing section, was the whole mafia boss thing. Well, there's one other thing I'll talk about, but that's the Isaiah stuff, which will be the last thing I talk about. But the mafia boss stuff and the Russians and Yggdrasil and fucking Verona and Sloan, things got insanely complicated. And so we're going to talk about all of it. So first thing is first. Verona, I guess Simon and Igor and the shop owner is like, we are going to handle Verona. Now, what they're going to do with Verona is a different story because they know that Verona and Sloan are working for Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil, I don't think, gives a shit. I think he just used them as fall people. It's like if they got the job done, that's one thing. If they didn't, oh well. But the point is, Yggdrasil is still a major player, which he had to be, because there's no point in introducing Rory as Hollywood and then having that saga just end. So that's obviously going to come back up in second season because Yggdrasil is still a thing. And considering how quickly he fucking knocked it, that's the first time we've ever seen Isaiah get knocked the fuck out. Like, well, not even, he got stabbed, obviously, but that is the first time you would ever seen that shit. That is I think that's the first time in the series. No, that's not the first time in the series, but that's one of the few times you ever see Isaiah get fucked up. And that was like so unexpected, it was retarded. Kind of remind me of the Simone shit in season 1. Because man, he's on the phone with this dude, and there's a block call, and he's having the conversation. All of a sudden, you hear his voice come into full effect. Chunk! And you're like, what the fuck was that? And he's just on the floor bleeding. We also know that it was the Aquasawa group, one of the people from that group, who did kill those dudes, which means they were working in tandem with Isaiah to frame Shizuo for doing it. Just not everyone in the group knew that. I think what's his name? Shizu or Shiki. He knows that now. He doesn't really seem to give a shit, which makes perfect sense because it's not like I feel like they're reaching this agreement, but it's like the agreement, I guess, isn't really liked on all sides. It doesn't seem like yet. So I'm not totally sure because doing that and framing Shizuo, there has to be a reason, or are they just trying to cause unnecessary tension? I'm not totally sure. The point is, everything kind of resolved itself. And the goal now, I feel like, maybe that's me. I don't fully understand what was the point of having a dude from your own group cause a rift in between the groups for no reason. Unless you just have people who inherently don't want this alliance to happen. Which obviously they still want it to happen. Some of them do anyway. I don't know. I'm a little confused. If people can enlighten me, it'd be a little bit easier. the Ron and Sloan stuff made sense. Essentially, you had two dudes who tried to kidnap people from the Aquasawa group, and Sloan got his kneecap shot, and Verona got taken out. And I think Verona, I don't know how Verona's situation is going to pan out now, because like we both know you work for Yggdrasil, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was the whole point, to draw out Yggdrasil. Maybe that's the biggest issue here. They're trying to beat Yggdrasil down. I'm not 100% sure, but the next half is going to be interesting as fuck, specifically for the dollar/blue squares, Chicago, because that hasn't ended. That just came to a truce, meaning at some point I'm banking that Mikado's going to have to intentionally go after Chicago. To what extent, I don't know what. I think right now he's going to just purge the dollars, but he knows eventually he's going to have to go after Chicago, and he's going to be like, and they're going to have that meeting again, and it's going to be a completely different situation. And when that happens, I look very forward to that. Also, Shizuo had me fanboy in the first half of the episode, and that was awesome. Oh, my Lord. Anything else I want to talk about? Because we already saw, I mean, we saw in the previous episode that Isaiah was visiting the house that Rory used to live in. So I obviously know that that's not over. And I know that he's not on Yggdrasil's side, so I guess that's good to know. But now the question really comes up as he's working with the Aquasawa group, it looks like. So I guess the whole plan, I guess this is going to turn into everyone versus Yggdrasil. And I still don't really understand what Yggdrasil's issue is. We know that he's not a good guy, or he knows we have some issue, but we don't know enough. And see, that's the thing, like Ikebukuro is like that town where no one wants to ask questions. It's like, even the shit with Henri and Saiga, it's like, Erica sexually harasses her, but doesn't like, oh, you don't have to tell me though. And that happens all the time. This happened like, I think it happened like 3 or 4 times. And from the city's perspective, that's kind of cool. But from the viewer's perspective, we're like, God, can we get some context, some explanation, anything? Oh, and hey, digital man, I got 5 people watching, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to talk about? This episode, as much as it was kind of confusing in some aspects, was also pretty simple, so I understand most of it. But I will be rewatching these first 12 episodes in English as they come out on Crunchyroll to get a better understanding. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I am missing, though? I don't think so. I guess we do. I don't know how much of the Saiga stuff is going to be irrelevant. And I'm also curious that we're going to get some more information about Isaiah's sisters, because it's already been known that Isaiah's sisters hang out with Aoba. Now, obviously, I don't think Mikado or Henri know who Isaiah's sisters are, or even know that he has sisters. So my assumption is that I guess maybe we'll start seeing that. And also, I'm curious, we still need to get Aoba's backstory too. So there's a lot of things that need to be finished. And considering season 2 is split up into 3 chapters, this is the first chapter. The second chapter comes out in July, and the third chapter comes out in next year. So I'm just curious to see where the next 12 episodes are going to go. But this is going to be pretty interesting. But let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, the King of Lightning stuff still happens. I already got Splatoon pre-ordered, but this is a Durarara episode review, so I would rather keep this on Durarara specifically because when people watch the playback, no one's gonna want to watch like random Q&A at the end. So if anybody has some Dur season 2 questions or just Dur questions in general, let me know, and I'll wait until the stream catches up for where you guys are watching. So there'll be like this little pause while I'm waiting to see if there's any questions. Let's see. I will say I like this. I like the first chapter so far, though. The first half was more of a chilled arc, whereas the second half has been a lot more of the serious shit, which is obviously where it's gonna go from now on. So, and I don't really have a major issue with that anyway. So, I look forward to it all. Let's see. See if I got any questions. No, not currently. I'll give it a few more minutes, but honestly, I just kind of wanted to talk about the chapter, and that's my personal thoughts about it. This will be bought as soon as the release date for the DVD comes out. So I enjoyed this season so far, though. This first half of second season. I'll give it like a few more minutes. If I don't get any questions, then I'll just cut it off here, I guess. Derp. Derp! Fucking insane, people. That's why they call me the insane game freak. Da 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 da. I'd be mad as hell. My mom comes up here and interrupts me because I hear her walking around the house. And usually when that happens, she starts getting rowdy and being like, "Hey, what you doing? You're being too quiet up here. You're an introverted son, Mom. Chill out." Let's see. Any questions? Nah. Nah. Okay. Well, that's all I have. So, kind of a shorter episode review. I figured this would be longer, but it's kind of Durarara Season 2 is only for people who've actually been watching Durarara Season 2. And Durarara is kind of a confusing series to kind of follow anyway. So, hopefully you've enjoyed these episode reviews. I'll have a playlist in the description that has all the 12 episodes. And currently, if you want to watch it dubbed, they're going back and dubbing episodes. I think the third episode comes out next week. So, yeah, get a Crunchyroll membership is in the description on how to get it. I look forward to the second half, and I guess the next thing I'm looking forward to is Snafu Season 2, which starts next Thursday. Let's go! Kill him! Ooh! I'll probably do like a top 10 video. I'll probably do a live stream next weekend just because I don't have anything to put up next weekend and I can get back to a normal video schedule because the Snafu reviews will be on the second channel. But I'll make a video for that. So, yay! Anyways, this has been the Insane Game Freak. Life's a game. Play to win. And I hope to catch you guys later. Looking forward to that the next arc of As you can see, I've had sugar today. Probably need to go to the gym. Anyways, I will catch you guys later. This is me, saying Game Freak Terrell, saying hey ho, hey no. Peace!